Dang, man, it feels like I'm just gonna be making videos about suspensions now. We had the Kachuk suspension I was talking about, and now Juraj Slafkovsky has been suspended 2 games for boarding Matt Luff. He is now the second Canadiens player suspended, as Josh Anderson was also suspended 2 games for boarding, but it was before Slafkovsky got the hearing and now the suspension. For those who didn't see what happened or were just a bit perplexed as to the situation, well, we have the Canadiens playing in Detroit against the Wings, a casual Atlantic matchup, and we have a tie game with less than 5 minutes to go in the third period when Wings forward Matt Luff chases the puck near the bench and Slavkovsky slams him into the boards, causing an immediate reaction. And let me just get this straight. This is bad for both players. It's bad for Matt Luff because he just got a puck to the face like 11 days ago and was wearing the protection cage for a bit and took it off before this game. And the next thing you know, he goes face first into the boards by Slafkovsky. He's now out for 10 to 12 weeks, which is just horrible. I mean, you got to feel for the guy. The upper jaw and facial injuries are not very pleasant, and just seeing him recover and get hurt in that same area again just sucks. It's also bad for Slafkovsky because he's a rookie. He's supposed to be scoring goals and notching points right now, not getting suspended, and he's not doing that very much. I know he's big. He's a literal replica of Ovechkin in terms of weight and height. I mean, Ovechkin being 6'3", 238 pounds, and Slav being the exact same at 6'3", 238. So, he is pretty much like a power forward build, but he still just cannot be throwing the body like this. If this was Tom Wilson or Kadri or even Kachuk, like I talked about in the last video, that's going to be more than 2 games. Why, may you ask? Well, it's probably because all of these guys have bad reputations and are known for these types of things. Slav is a rookie, so obviously he doesn't have a tarnished reputation just yet, but it's good that the Department of Player Safety actually suspended him. I saw some Twitter threads of people jokingly saying how the Department of Player Safety would not suspend him, but thankfully George Peros uses what's left in his head for once. Either way, Luff's pretty much just bleeding after the hit. Slav gets a 5-minute major and a game misconduct, which is embarrassing for the Wings because they don't even end up scoring on the man advantage for the rest of the period. And I mean, that power play is going on for the rest of the period. Remember, it's 5 minutes left in the third period. Get a major penalty assessed, so that's 5 minutes. Pretty much might have like 20 seconds left or so when that power play expires. We already heard that Slav was getting a hearing for this earlier today being November 9th, but just like a few hours ago or so, we see that he's been suspended for good. It's 2 games, meaning he misses the game against Vancouver and the game against Pittsburgh, which honestly sucks because those are 2 teams who certainly could have some trouble against Slafkovsky, and it's even worse for Montreal because they don't have Josh Anderson or Slafkovsky, and they are currently 6-6-1, which poses risk on their record if they lose to these 2 teams. But sticking to the suspensions, I've already seen enough people talking about the Anderson boarding call versus Slafkovsky boarding call, mostly because they're on the same team and happened in such a small time frame, but the Anderson one was miles worse. The dude was literally charging towards Pietrangelo and aimed at the head, which made Pietrangelo's neck just swivel like crazy. I mean, that's an easy cheap shot right there. I can't really say the same for Slafkovsky. I'd say it was a little more unintentional, but obviously it's still a dangerous hit. But again, Slafkovsky is one of the heaviest dudes in the NHL right now at 6'3", 238 pounds. Matt Luff is 6'2", but he's 196 pounds. That's a difference of 40 plus pounds right there, which explains why Slav was able to bury him. Plus, Luff didn't see the hit coming, so he probably wasn't balanced either. Just a very unfortunate spot for Matt Luff and an unfortunate play by Juraj Slafkovsky. I'm not seeing many Wings fans blaming him here because in all, Slav didn't really ram him over. It was kind of a passive-aggressive nudge, I guess, if that's how you want to describe it. He nudges him over and then continues to hunt for the puck. I mean, that's what anyone would do. It's not like he's staring him down to make sure Luff is hurting or anything. That would just be purely evil. Luff was just in a very vulnerable position to get hurt like that, and this should be a learning lesson for Slafkovsky. I see tons of Habs fans, not shockingly defending Slafkovsky on this play, saying, well, to be fair, Luff's smaller and he's not keeping his head up, so it is kind of his fault. Just take a look at this picture right here for a second, Habs fans. This is a hit from behind, and it's obviously putting Luff's head at risk, which a lot of sports these days are being careful about. For example, in the NFL, we see roughing the passer calls on plays where the quarterback isn't putting any part of the body at risk for injury. It's just overprotective, but in cases like this, we need the players to understand what the risks are. Like Slafkovsky, these big players know what damage they pose to smaller guys, and whether they do it or not is their call, but they most likely will get penalized, and that may be something for Slafkovsky to learn. I hate to always bring up George Peros and how much I hate him because of that whole Tom Wilson incident that happened last year, but this time, the Department of Player Safety actually took a W. They want to mentor Slafkovsky and discipline him. He's a big, strong rookie about what he can do and what he cannot do, which is the right thing to do. If only Peros did the same thing for Wilson. No, I'm just playing, guys. I wouldn't make a joke about that every single video. It would just get annoying. But either way, I will say that Uri is not 100% to blame. He's also trying to use his physicality, right? I mean, what guy who's 238 pounds would not use his physicality? All power forwards want to do that. He's a rookie. He's supposed to at least try everything and see what works. It's just an unfortunate hit, but suspending Laf was the right call, and I think 2 to 4 games is perfectly fine. 5 would be a bit extreme, and 5 or more would be way too extreme, and 1 or no suspension slash the $5,000 fine would really not teach him any discipline. But if this happens again, especially with Slafkovsky within the time frame, then we should be eyeing more than just 5 games. If it happened like after the game against Pittsburgh, then yes, I see a 5+ game suspension and maybe a fine coming as well. Hopefully, this is a learning lesson for Slav. He's young, he's talented, he's got great things ahead of him. But if you're a Red Wings fan, let me know your thoughts in the comments about the hit or on Matt Luff or the suspension, whatever it may be. Just let's hear it in the comments. Otherwise, thank you guys for tuning in and have a wonderful day.